in every success there is a story behind, and many times we don't listen or we don't know about the story behind some people, but everyone has their own history. And the story behind me, the story behind my life is there are times that I had really failed in life. I gave up in life. There was a lot of hopelessness, a lot of anger with myself. So there's a lot that has happened in my life before maybe I took the right way and the right track to be where I am today. And today I would like to maybe encourage somebody who is in that place where I was, in a place where you have failed in life, where you have tried all that you think you can do, and there is nothing that is coming out of it. I would remember when I was in high school, and my parents had a lot of hopes in me. They knew this is the firstborn, and this is a boy maybe who will one day be of help to himself and help to the family. And they were very committed to seeing me get the best that I can get based on their financial status then. But when I got into the high school I got into, I wasn't that focused as I should have been. And maybe one of the things I would really encourage somebody who is listening to me is that from a very young age, you need to be focused. You need to have a very great vision. You need to know that life is so real. Life is not a joke. And every choice that you make has its own consequences. There's someone who said that between B and D, that would be between your birthday and between the day of your death, there is a C. That means what you experience between your day of birth and the day of your death are choices that you have made, or choices that were made by some people who are very close to you. And many people are where they are today, in failures, in sufferings, in many kind of challenges, based on the choices they made ignorantly. And those are some of the choices that I made. I chose the wrong friends. People who are not focused became my friends. People who are not thinking about their future became my friends. And that is where my downfall started. And I remember when still in high school, we wanted to explore the life of drugs, and we did that, not really looking at the consequences and the future of it, because everything that you're planting in your life, however small, it will grow. Everything grows. If you start a life of maybe if you're consuming some drugs somewhere or alcohol, everything that you do grows and becomes big. And I remember when I finished my high school now, I failed in my KCSE exam. I did not make it, as maybe I did not do my best. With the grades I got were not my grades based on how my performance was maybe when I was in primary school. A lot had changed. I ignored education. I thought maybe that somehow I would make it in life, and definitely after high school, I really went into a life of maybe immediately after the results came out, and I discovered that most of my neighbors, my cousins, they have done very well, and now I was there as a failure, and definitely it affected me, and I started now getting more into maybe alcoholism, getting to all these immoral behaviors, as many young people are doing today, not knowing the negative effect of that kind of life. Maybe it will really affect you in a few years to come. And one thing led to another. I continued getting deeper into that kind of life, and I found myself running away from home, because eventually our parents cannot be able to handle some of the habits that I was working in. And I found myself in the city, and that is where now I joined more bad people, engaging into anything that would come our way, and my life went down and down and down. And away from all that, when you're drunk, when you're feeling up, when you're enjoying your friends, there is that time where you are alone and there is a lot of hopelessness. You feel hopeless. You are angry with yourself. You are angry with everyone. You are angry with your parents. And you feel that kind of bitterness. You don't want to live. And that is where my life had been. But I really thank God, because after quite a number of years in that kind of life, one day I would say I saw the light, and the light that I saw is a light that majorly people ignore. I remember it was a day just like today, and maybe you are there where I was, and that is where I received and I accepted to believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and my Savior. And I was all alone. I did not have anybody to guide me. I did not have anybody to pray for me. I was all alone, and I went to the small room that we were staying with quite a number of boys, and I knelt down by myself, and I said, please, Jesus, please help me. I was really honest with myself that I was going in the wrong direction, and I knew if this continues, maybe I'll be shot dead one day, or I'll run into something that will destroy my life. And that was a very big moment in my life, a life-changing moment. A small prayer made a big impact in my life. I remember after that, that's when I went and visited my dad where he was working, and I told him, Dad, I want to come back home. I want to come back home. I'm sorry for all that I've done. I'm sorry for all that I have wasted my life. I've wasted your resources. I've wasted the family name. A lot of things I've done. But Dad, if it is in your heart a place for me, please forgive me and I will come back home. And it was so quick. My dad is a loving man and he's a caring man. He just said, son, if you choose to come back home, you will come back home. And he embraced me, and then a new journey started. A new phase of my life started. But even in that kind of life, fast forward, I went back home. I joined my church back home, and I started staying with my family. Now my mom and my dad, my brothers and my sisters. As now a church boy at home, eventually I got married to my wonderful wife, Patricia, whom I really want to acknowledge. She is a great strength to me up to today. Actually, one of my pillars in life, away from God, is that I got married to somebody who loved me as I was, who cared for me as I was, and who has walked with me through my weaknesses, through my failures. She has always been there for me, and she is there with me up to now and going forward. She's a great strength. And when we got married, then we thought of it was good for us to relocate from the village and maybe go and look for green pastures in what we would call the city, and then that's how we came to the city of Nakuru. And life wasn't easy at all. Life wasn't easy at all. I just say that based on that, I didn't have maybe any academic qualifications at that moment in time. And now I have a wife, I have a kid, I have to pay for the house rent, we have to feed ourselves. And we came and we tried to do some business, selling second-hand clothes in the market. And maybe because of our inexperience, even in business, the business did not really go well after maybe 2 or 3 months. So we were there in the city, there is no food, there is no job, and we were really facing it very hard. In this city that I'm living in today, I have done every kind of job. I remember there's a time I went to work with some young men who were digging some toilet somewhere. You know, I always pass by that church. It was a church toilet, and I see the toilet that we dug, and I'm really excited and thank God, because God is able to take you from one level of glory to another level of glory. But that particular time, I remember even that day when we were pulling soil from that pit, and I was a little wondering what the future has for us, what the future has for me as a husband and as a father. I also remember there's a time we used to go to Menengai near the crater. There's a guy who used to have some farms there, and we used to, together with some of my friends, then we used to go there and work as casual laborers, harvesting maize there. and in the evening you were given like 150 shillings, but that was really good money for me at that particular time. That was enough food for my family. I remember for quite a number of months I stayed there at the market, whereby I was selling blouses, ladies' blouses, holding them with some hangers in the evening when people are coming out from job, and you're there and you're calling customers, you know, just hawking those kind of clothings. And it was a very difficult life, whereby if you get 20 shillings, that is a wonderful thing. And we have slept hungry. Our house has been locked by the landlord. We have been chased away from some places we used to live in, because maybe they thought we were not able to meet the requirements, the financial basically requirements that they expected us to meet. So we have faced it in a very hard way. So behind all that we are doing today is a time we have learned through hard, through thick, through thin. We have really faced a lot of difficulties in this life. And I remember there was also a life-changing moment that whereby we went to volunteer ourselves, me and my wife, in a church where we went there to train ourselves and also maybe to teach kids some Sunday schools and all. And we were there in that kind of environment as volunteer teachers. And that was a really life-changing moment. But basically what I would like to say is that even if you're in that moment of failure, in that moment of hopelessness, there is something that you need to do. Never give up. Never give up. That would be maybe what I would really give you as an advice. It doesn't really matter how hopeless you feel, how angry you are with yourself. Never give up in life. And not only that, also be that person who is willing to take any kind of job. That you don't choose jobs. If you don't have money, you don't choose jobs. Any kind of job that comes your way, please go for it, as long as it's a legal job. But you know, we have some people who don't want to do the hard labor work. Please just take the job that comes your way, as long as it is bringing some food at your table. And know that there is a great future for you. And the other thing that you need to know is that you need to clearly plant your faith in God. If you don't know Jesus as your Lord and your Savior, Jesus is the way. He is the way to life. He is the way to greatness, and He can transform your life from a nobody to somebody. Have that experience in a personal way. Don't give up. Take any kind of job. Work hard. Believe in prayer. Believe in Jesus Christ. Be ready to do all that God brings your way. Be a person who is ready to take risk, to try new things, and the future will be better than where you are right now. So I would really like to maybe leave you with that for today, and just to let you know that behind every success, there is a lot of pain, there is a lot of shame, there is a lot of trials and errors, there is a lot of failures before you get to sit properly and maybe look forward to a better life. So today it was just, I believe, introduction of this program that we are doing on the story behind the story. And next week I will be here, and I will be joined with by my beautiful wife, and we'll be able to share more on and even details on some of the things we have gone through to be where we are today, just to encourage you and just to let you know that there is a future for you no matter where you are in life. Don't give up. Let's keep on living, and may the Lord bless you.